turn and I'll settle the score. Of a fire screams into the night. Crash and burn is what you're gonna do. I am the master of the asphalt fight. They all said I'd best give it up. What a fool to believe their lies. Now they've fallen, I'm at the top. Are you ready now to die? I came up from the bottom and into the top. For the first time feel alive. I can fly like an eagle, strike like a hawk. Do you think you can survive? I came up from the bottom and into the top. For the first time feel alive. I can fly like an eagle, strike like a hawk. Do you think you can survive? It's hard. I came up from the bottom and into the top. For the first time feel alive. I can fly like an eagle, strike like a hawk. Do you think you can survive? I came up from the bottom and into the top. For the first time feel alive. I can fly like an eagle, strike like a hawk. Do you think you can survive? It's hard. I came up from the bottom and into the top. I came up from the bottom and into the top. For the first time feel alive. I can fly like an eagle, strike like a hawk. Do you think you can survive? I came up from the bottom and into the top. For the first time feel alive. I can fly like an eagle, strike like a hawk. Do you think you can survive? It's hard.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another Racing with iLemons. What? iRacing for the 2024 Lemons Championship. This is round 10 of the series, and we are at New Jersey Motorsports Park. A little bit of a legacy, unfinished iRacing track. Should be some good racing, though. Let me walk over to my steering wheel here. And this is round 10. A little bit of recap where we are. We are in third place in the championship currently. Looking to hold that position. Because obviously we would like to have a podium finish in that. Not catching the top two, or seems highly unlikely. If I remember correctly, there's only one round left after this. Let me recenter my view here. iRacing is always finicky with this, especially when I'm sitting across the room. There we go. I will gladly read everyone's chats, and in between sessions and at the end, but obviously I'm in VR. I do not have a Twitch plugin, so I cannot see once I'm actually driving. But should be a good night here. We've got about 15 minutes left to practice. I wasn't too worried about it. Actually, my foot kind of hurts because I've practiced so much. Oh, I don't have sound. That might be a problem. Let me confirm I don't have sound before I do something drastic, like restarting the game. The fact I couldn't hear that car leads me to believe I don't have sound. That'll be interesting. Where's Where's my headset? There it is. Do I have any sound? I have no sound and no force feedback. What? Hold up. It's because I clicked out the window, isn't it? Oh, the joys of trying to live stream in VR. Man, I even tested all this earlier, so. So I have no sound. Okay, well, luckily I know what's causing that. Yeah, I know what's causing all these issues. Okay. Well, so let me fix this. This is why we start in a practice session. Screen will go black just for a moment here. If I close that, we turn that down a little bit, because I think this is an issue I've had before. Just gotta wait for iRacing to load back up. Not a problem. Basically, there's some weird conflict between my sound drivers. I might notice in the sound drop-downs, I run voice meter to help split out the channels, or in the different tracks and programs for streaming. And iRacing and voice meter do not play nice together. And I don't really know why. Like, especially when it's not consistent. Half the time it's a problem, half the time it's not. So go figure. But it looks like tonight it's being a problem. So we are just going to simply close voice meter, kind of let my computer sort out the sound drivers. And now, in theory, I have perfect sound. Let me make sure you all can see the stream. Yes, okay, cool. And I can hear things, which is good. So we're going to hop right into practice laps. I do want to just check on kind of fuel. So 13.5 gallons is 22 laps. Because in all my testing, like, I did practice long stint lengths, but that is not a full tank of fuel. Which is a fact. Oh gosh, yeah. It's a great start. I said I practiced. I didn't say I practiced well. Good grief. Okay. Let's try this again. What I've also learned is that I cannot, like, talk and drive at the limit on the same time. I can very much do one or the other, so I will probably at some point in the race need to be quiet. Cold tires, so kind of a warm-up lap, so we'll be pretty careful through here. So this corner, well, let me get the tires up to temperature.
Sorry about that.
And then I can walk you through a lap. It is going to be spotty rain for this race, which is honestly the part I am most concerned about. Pretty fast in the dry. I feel pretty good about racing in the wet, because actually wet racing is one of my strong suits. However, it's going to be those intermittent, greasy conditions could be an issue. We'll give it one more lap to get the tires up to temp. You'll see me start to push a little bit more. I don't know why I downshifted there, but don't do that. Feeling pretty good. I mean, I've got some driver coaching this week. Got a lot of help with the setup, actually, because setups are normally my weakness. And
on the right. Go left.
We'll just go like that. A little bit risky, but, so it's racing, so what's the point? I got some help with the setup, got some driver coaching. Nothing too formal. Just kind of had someone who knows what they're doing hop into Discord chat with me and just be like, hey, and just teach me what I'm doing a little bit more. This is one of the key corners. Got to get a good exit here. Oh, I was on throttle too soon. Because that carries the speed all the way down here and the front straight. Alright, so lap at New Jersey Motorsports Park. So coming across the start-finish line, which is right there. As we approach turn 1, there's a little bit of a light spot. A little bit past, or a little bit, yeah, a little bit past the start of the curbing. We need to do a slight tap of the brakes around there. You can run all the way out to the third set of curbs. Don't want to do that though. Slight lift. When tires are fresh, you can be right back on the gas. Kind of upshift as you do so. Another little dark spot right there. Fourth, let it coast around. Swing it wide. All the way down into first. On the throttle nice and early. Upshift into second. That corner's a little bit wide, missed the apex. Hard on the brakes, turn it in and downshift into third. On the throttle, run it wide. Not too wide though. And then down into second again. And be on throttle as soon as possible. All the way out to the outer edge. Still flat out through here. A little bit before the edge of that curbing. All the way down into first. So I carry as much speed through there. A little bit of upshift into second. And then quick back down into first for the rotation. When it catches in there, hard on the throttle. First gear, second gear. Flat out all the way through here. So 117. Oh. There we go. Yeah, 116.1. That's pretty good, actually. That might be personal best even for me this week practicing. That's what happens if you run it too wide there. Really easy to mess that corner up. It's probably the hardest corner on the track for me, personally. Actually, I take that back. No, it's not. It's one of those tracks where it's really easy to run too wide in a lot of different places. So really got to hit your braking zones right. It's a lot trickier, obviously, in the wet. That's why I was concerned about the wet. As you see, a lot of this track is rubbered in. Can't use the curbs basically at all anywhere around here, honestly. But especially the fast sections. This is probably the hardest corner on the track, like this little triple apex sequence. Because you gain or lose a ton of time through here, trying to force the car around here. Let's see what that was. That should be not a great lap, but kind of average. Yeah, 116 too. That's pretty good. Actually, that's quite a good lap. I think the track's running a little bit cooler right now because I was not setting these in my own personal practice. That's what I mean about you can use all three curves that is not track limits. And run it all the way out there too. Still perfectly in bounds. On the wet, really got to stay off of that curb. It'll send you spinning real quick. Hard on the throttle. Go, go, go.
We expect light rain soon.
Yeah, that's the problem. It's going to be that light rain, I mean. It's going to be that fine line of, you know, wet and dry tires. And last time we ran a wet race, I had to double pit stop because I put on dry tires too soon. And then lost like 2 minutes of time trying to not crash. Yeah, track's pretty good right now. 16-2. Don't hit that curb. Don't do that. I ate too much of it. And you saw how much it unsettled the car.
Right side, clear.
Oh, yeah, that's what happens if you run it too wide there. Technically, it doesn't give you a track limits until you're past the edge of the curving, but it does slow you down if you run it that wide, so just don't do that. Nope, on throttle too soon. I was about to run it too wide there, that's why I had to back out. How am I doing on fuel? Yeah, so I mean it's 10 gallons, so I mean it's lap and a half a gallon basically. We'll do one more lap to kind of confirm that. You also don't want to clip the inside of that curb. If your car is set up all right, it doesn't unsettle it, but it does force you wide. And so you have to back out of it, and you just lose time that way. I hear some Discord messages, so let me finish this lap here, kind of confirm fuel wear, and then I will read those, whoever's messaging me. Ooh. 1, I needed to be in first gear. 2, I was a little bit late on the brakes. So the combination of missing a downshift and being a little bit late sent me all the way out to the edge. Yeah, it's about a lap and a half a gallon. So let me make sure sound is all right. I'm just going to drive in a straight line here while looking at my sound. We return to garage. Who is messaging me? Alright, we're good. It's a lap and a half of fuel each. Spotty rain. And I found the tires really dropped off after... well, really after 15 laps, but you were sliding pretty good once you hit 20. That would be tire 0. Where's my fuel level? Yes, pressures on this car, this track, so lay as low as you can. You can see the last hot pressures. Left side's gonna be used here. Where's my fuel level? Am I just blind? Fuel level. Starts at 13.5, which is 22 laps. What'd I say? 1 gallon equals lap and a half. So I mean, I would need to add, if I try to do like a 30 lap stint, like I don't, yeah. So that would be 13. I mean, 22 was rough. You're losing about 2 seconds a lap opposed to fresh tires. It's a 90-minute race, and it's 1 1/4 per. So what? It's a 70-lap race, roughly. 35 laps. Goodness. I think technically it's worth it, though. It's 24. 25.5. 27. 28.5. 30 laps. Then we'll basically toss in a little bit extra. So I don't want to run more fuel than I have to. Failed. Why? Why did it fail? Oh my goodness, my ride height's too low. if I do that. Well, that's something I didn't encounter this week. Okay, so what's like the maximum fuel I can do and still be within tech? Fuel weight, my springs are a little bit softer. I don't want to mess with a lot of this. Failed, oh no. Because this might start dictating. Pit windows then. Oh gosh, can I add any extra fuel or do I have to pit it? Oh no. Okay, so I guess we're pitting at lap 22 then. Because lap's 22... I mean, we can add more fuel then. Technically puts you into illegal height, but that's not... Like, it passes technical inspection at that point. Then we get to see what the weather is doing, too. Is that a bad idea? I would have to start adjusting the perch offsets. Or, like, force it up. Yeah, see, I don't want to do that. Oh, right, there's no qualifying. I did forget about that detail. I have a small lobby tonight, so it looks like... I don't know how Nathan is. I feel like he's pretty fast. Alright, well, we're just going to roll with 22 laps of fuel. And... basically see what happens. Ooh, sunset. Pretty. Okay, so I'll use his practice times, basically. Yeah.
Alright, I don't know if y'all changed your tires.
One to go. Next
Or-
time by. Line
or
up on the
rain,
right
or
side.
not rain,
Closed.
but
Pit road is closed. No
just
sign
be
of
careful.
this rain stopping. You're on a dry tire.
I want to add... starting with, like, 13, so we'll add, like, 19 gallons at the fuel stop. That'd be a splash and go for the last stop. We'll start with that.
Still waiting on 2 cars to grid.
Yeah, because that would give you 30 laps of fuel. It'd be really close at that point, but we're kind of going to count on a rain stop. Precipitation, 100%. Awesome. Because I do not have... Oh gosh, why is this wet? No, it's supposed to be spotty showers. Okay, well, that's great. Because I'm on dry and this is wet. Yep, okay.
short base up, by the way.
Put on a wet tire.
Yeah, I'm realizing I should have put on wets. I thought it was starting dry and getting wet.
Same. Yeah, so I'm just going to inch my way around the track and get to the pit.
I can throw a caution too.
It's fine. I don't need caution. I can just inch my way out.
Okay.
Makes it interesting.
Careful for the first lap and then we'll hit the pit.
Yeah, it just makes it interesting. We all got to get around and then drive back.
So is it wet the whole time?
It's spotty rain, so I guess assume it might be. I have no idea.
Yeah, I'll see. I'll see if it gets drier.
Yeah, I mean, according to weather report, it's 100% precip.
Catch the pace car.
Well, that's not spotty.
I mean, Session did say spotty, but that's what in-game's saying.
Yay!
About to go green. Stay focused.
I'm on dry
Pace
tires
car
on
is
full
off.
wet
Be
circuit.
ready.
This is gonna be good.
Green flag, green flag.
Full wet track. Let's see. Yeah, we're all having an inch here because we're all on dry tires and full wet. This is a interesting race start. Let's get off that rubber. Just basically run the wet line. I mean, because the slicks, the instant you cross that rubber line, there's nothing, but... Oof, yeah, there is no grip right now. We're going to keep it in a really low gear because everybody's going to have to crawl around this. Run this wide line. There's at least a little something there. Oof, that sun's harsh. Good news is we actually have a decent lead after lap 1 because everyone messed up tire choice. So we're going to add like 10 gallons.
Pit box in. 10.
So that'll let us run basically as long as possible.
3, 2, 1. Right here.
Putting on wet tires, yep. Alright, so any race strategy kind of went out the window. Now we grab tires.
Move it, move it.
Alright, so it should be a lot better now that we're on wet tires. Gotta be careful because they're nice and cold, but... should be able to basically run a normal wet line now. Because wet line to second gear through there, stay off that curve, cut back over. Kind of try to hug the inside here because there's a little bit less rubber, I should say. Let's build up. So then you kind of drive it deep because the rubber line is in the middle. And on the gas. A little bit of a lift through there. Then you want to run it out to here because there's like no rubber there. And let's see where we are relative. Yeah, so we're 14.5 seconds behind the leader, who's probably the leader because he thought to put wets on, because he actually checked the weather report. You know, like everyone else should have. I'm pretty sure everyone, except for maybe him, actually started on dries. There we go, tires are up to temp, I can tell. Yeah, so right now I would say the track is probably greasy. Like it's not,
Car stops on the right.
like it's definitely not, you know, a full wet.
The next car's the leader. You've
All right,
got the
Pete.
fastest lap. Left side,
I mean, if he's just gonna give me the inside line,
clear.
keep it straight as you clip the curb. Oop. Went straight when I hit the curb. That thing is going to be monitoring like tire heat. Make sure I don't overheat the tires, because I'll say it's wet, but it's drying. Is going to be the trick here. Alright, let's settle in here. Just keep an eye on temps,
You've got
basically.
the fastest lap. We have a new leader.
So I do remember when the track was slightly damp like this, you could pretty much run the regular line. Let's cool off those tires by running it through the water.
You got a slow car on the right.
Somebody's on dry tires. That's why we came into pit right away, because basically what we're going to count on is that while the track might be drying, it will gain enough time that even if we have to stop for dry tires in a bit,
You just hit the fastest lap.
gotta be really careful there. Upshifted a little bit early into third because I was on the curb. Starting to understeer a little bit there. Gotta be careful of that curb. Really trying to start pushing it a little bit more. For now, we hold fast this lap, but obviously as track dries, I would, you know, if someone gets the timing right, I would not be surprised if that changes.
You've got the fastest lap.
Oof, touch the grass. Don't touch the grass when it's wet like that. Let's see, can I just run a normal line through there? Like, oh, these wet tires do have the grip for that. Nice. All right, that should help actually with some time then. Yeah, so gotta go all the way down in the second for that corner. Yeah, because I can pretty much run normal lines, looks like. I got to brake a little bit earlier there, but not by a whole lot. Traction's a little bit better right there, so we'll continue using that little inner strip. And all the way out wide. It's a little bit later on the acceleration, but there's some grip on the outside. Ooh, don't want to touch that inner curb. That sun was rough, though. Because it's second place I'm worried about here. Like, we are pulling away from him. But he is still only 13 seconds behind. Yeah, let's just use the normal line here. Yep, that works. Okay, perfect. So yeah, I mean, down in the second there, so we gotta take that corner a little bit slower, but the rest of this track is okay. Oof. Right, son. It's right on the outside right here. There's a dry spot. So you get a little bit better run. And you can see right on the outer edge. Use that to kind of turn in. Right before the inside of that curbing. Or I guess that'd be the outside, I guess. That's what you don't want to do. You don't want to clip that curb. Because that sends you in the grass like that. That one is an off track. What tires doing? Yeah, we're doing a good job managing tire temps. That's good. Like I said, this corner a little bit slower. Keep it in second because you don't want to clip that curb on the exits. This one we're pretty good. I mean, maybe it's not, yeah, it's not quite flat out at the moment, but it's pretty close. So then catch that dry line on the outside. Make sure you don't go on that curb, and away we go. Oh, why'd I brake that much? Oh, starting to rain again. So definitely wet tires, correct choice. So that's not just spray from the puddles, that's that, quote, spotty rain. Ooh, broke too early there. Can't see the apex. I am feeling pretty good about then. This does mean that anyone that was hoping for the track to dry. Yeah, sorry, I hate to break it to you, but it ain't drying. Clip the inside of that curb just a little bit. This is a bad spot to catch this person. Oh, and never mind. Bye.
Car stop on the left. Go right. You cut that corner and got a slow
was
down
close.
penalty.
I think he was trying to get over to pit lane or basically get over to pit lane, but I was crossing his front, not his rear. Oh, I did the thing. I broke on the curb. I did the thing you never, ever, ever do in the rain. Yeah, so we were 35 seconds ahead. That'll be more like 20 now. And my tires are hot, or cold. Alright, come on, get back in the rhythm. Gotta be a little bit careful this lap, because the tires are very confused after that. Like, they're dirty and cold right now, which is like the worst possible combination when it's actively raining. Also, this track is getting, I might have to switch to a rain line soon, because, yeah, it's getting a little bit too wet for... Basically, there's the greasy line. As long as you have wet tires on, you're generally okay to run the normal line in most corners. It's getting a little bit too wet for that. Get a full wet line now, so I can't see that corner. Yeah, definitely full wet line.
Left side. Clear.
Then really gotta just slow it down through here. Kind of get the rotation. There we go. You can kind of fade it out to the curbing on that corner as long as you have wet tires on. Like crossing that line surprisingly doesn't have too big of an issue or too big of an impact.
You got a dry car on the left. You got a dry car on the left.
Gonna use our wet track knowledge and wet tires. Just fly around them like that. Oh, I still have my traction control and ABS for the dry. Let's up ABS just a little bit. Track's not so wet right now that traction control is an issue at the moment. I do want to start being a little bit careful of this. What lap is this? These tires are going to start to wear. I want to see if I can get like at least 25 laps out of these. I think that's a big ask because this is usually when the tires start dropping off, but I only did a tire wear test in the dry, not the wet, so kind of hoping the wet tires may hold up a little bit better. I think that's really, really optimistic, but the slowest spin ever, no! Oof. Yeah, that's an off track, shoot. Ooh, let's be careful on that curb. Let's try about there as a braking point. That works pretty well. So now it's about just keeping an eye on lap times, kind of seeing when the tires start dropping off. So one of the other things I did on that first pit stop there, like lap 1 when we put wets on, is I added an extra like 10 gallons of fuel. So I mean the tires should be an issue well before fuel is. It does mean that the next pit stop, I mean if we just max out fuel, it'll be about a minute pit stop. That's kind of the target gap. Right now we're doing 127s. Okay. So 127s will be our baseline. You can ride that curb just a little bit, but you got to be straight when you do it, or else, you know, it will send you flying. Carefully touch that curb. Just do that little bit of a downshift. End up with just a tab of the brake. Not a whole lot. Just to kind of help with the rotation. Yeah, the rear tires, you can feel them.
Car behind is pitting.
He probably didn't add fuel that first stop, because this is lap, I mean, that would have been that first fuel window. And we're still doing...
Got the fastest lap.
We're still doing fastest laps, apparently, so... I mean, I'm okay on fuel. So, I mean, I see no reason to pit at the moment. Yeah, I got another, like, 20 laps of fuel, so... It's solely when tires give out at this point. And I was planning on a 2-stop, but kind of that additional pit stop right up front. So my left front was on the curb.
What happens if I do all 255 quick repairs?
That's a good question. I don't know.
So quick repairs were supposed to be enabled for this race. It sounds like something happened and they all vanished. Ooh. Okay. I felt the rear starting to step out there. There's a car facing the wrong direction. The racing line is drying out. Because despite the tire wear, I'm starting to carry more speed everywhere. My grip isn't an issue yet. Definitely want to stay off that curb if I can still. I mean, like I've said a couple times now, you can touch it, but not much more. I mean, like through these corners, it's dry enough. This one's still probably the tricky one. It's not quite flat out still. track limits, yep. I knew it. I pushed it a little bit hard there.
You've got the fastest lap. Go right.
Oh, I broke really early there. Didn't need to brake that much. That's unfortunate. Try to get a good exit out of this. I need to stop clipping that corner, because it's hurting my speed down the straight. Ooh, is that too fast? It's close. So I mean, 22, 23 laps is about the longest practice session I've done. And that was in the dry, so this will be interesting. I mean, we're doing all right on fuel. Again, thanks to that first pit stop and using a couple of extra seconds to top it off, so we got another 15 laps of fuel. We're currently 2 laps ahead. And second place is 2 laps down, everyone else is 3 laps down right now. Which means we won't have a problem if or when we need to do, or I should say when we need another pit stop, not if. So, I mean, even with fresher tires, there we go. That was better.
You've got the fastest lap.
I like how these tires are, you know, almost or over 20 laps old, and I'm still setting fastest laps. Wow, did I just shave 9/10ths off of that lap? Oh yeah, track is, this dry line is fine. Except for that one. You saw that little wobble there. It stabilized itself, but gotta be careful on that one.
The car behind you is pitting.
Ooh, overshot that corner. Luckily, it's not rubbered on the outside, so it gripped up. So I gotta take it easy around that corner. Wonder, is the main racing line dry? Yes, it is. Cool. That main line is dry enough that you can take that corner wide. Probably should have tested that a couple laps ago, honestly, but I didn't think to. So I think it's just starting to rain again. So the track will start to get a little bit more slick, but ooh, judging from that line, people have started to figure out the wet line.
You got it, slow car on the right. Right side. Clear on the right.
Had ascended on the wet line there. In fact, that inside line has more grip, because the inside of that corner isn't rubbered. But you know what? The outside was what was available. Ran that corner wide, so we'll just be careful there, and that's why. Oh yeah, there's enough grip there to swing that in. There's so many skid marks all over. I think if it starts raining heavily again, like I'll end up coming in because my tires are starting to struggle. Actually, this is lap 26 to lap 25 on these tires, so I'm not terribly surprised. I want to try to get halfway through the race, because that'll be a good spot.
Man, this map looks like ass. I really should have installed counter-strike source.
Does look very T-mod, huh?
Yeah, now they talk about the lack of background on here. I don't know what the story is. I mean, I didn't own New Jersey Motorsports Park here. That was a really bad line into that corner. Like, I bought this track and this car, both of which are legacy. Kind of specifically for this weekend's race. And being legacy products, I think it was like $7 or $8 for both of them. If anyone knows why they decided to not finish this map, let me know, because I'd be curious to know. And like, it's still perfectly usable, as you see, you know, because they got the track itself scanned and finished. But they just, you can see like the silhouettes of assets. They just like never finished doing the background, basically. And 23 gallons. Should be enough to finish the race, I would think. Thinks that's halfway through, and we're on lap 28. It needs to be like 30 laps. Oh, yep. I thought I was on a different corner. Okay, that's fine. Just gotta be careful because tires are gonna be dirty now. I thought I was one corner back because I was busy on my menus. I lost track of where I was. It's pretty sunset out there. Sun's not blinding at least, which is always a nice benefit. It's one of those things I'm always impressed at with endurance racing. I mean, yeah, you're driving directly into the sun, but you're going, 150 miles an hour. Or I guess even 200 if you're a prototype. Yeah, how do you see well enough, especially if you're fighting with someone? I know you have tinted visors, but as it goes into the night, goodness, I need to pay attention to my driving. I'm starting to lose time, I think. Alright, pay attention to my driving. Not the menus, not the anything else. Yeah, the rears are sliding pretty good. Can't say I'm surprised, but it's still clearly drivable. I'm not losing massive amounts of time, so we'll keep pushing it. Gotta be extra careful out of there because it's really easy to lose the rear. Yeah, this dry line is dry. Until you hit the curbing. Yeah, I mean, now the track's drying out pretty well. I think that's why the tires are doing okay, actually. And these wet tires basically turned into slicks. But the track's dry enough that's okay as long as it doesn't start raining. Now that poses an interesting question of, do you put dries on, or do you stick with wets and hope that it rains one more time?
There's an incident ahead. You got a slow car on the right.
Oh, that's some heavy damage. Yeah, see, it's starting to rain again. So that actually answered that question. So with it being spotty, yeah, 100% chance of rain still. Or chance of precipitation, sorry, aka rain. That corner is a hard one right now. It's like even this corner isn't too bad, honestly. Like, it's not straight out, but you can pretty much take it as normal. They have to be more careful on the throttle, because again, rear tires are kinda deaded. Kind of goes back to I'm not losing enough time to justify coming in. Another thing that happens here is the later I go with this pit stop, obviously one, means tires are fresher for longer, or, you know, for deeper into the run. And then two is I have to put less fuel in, so the stop actually starts becoming shorter. Which is why I'm kind of pushing my tires and fuel. So I can put in, you know, a couple of gallons less fuel. That's noticeable. Because refueling is the part that takes a while in these.
You just hit the fastest lap.
Yeah, I'm evidently not struggling too much right now if I'm setting fastest lap. What lap are we on? 33. Yeah, so I mean, I've already gotten way more out of the stint than I expected to. So we're officially past the halfway point in this race. Clip the curb just a little bit. You saw it start snapping, but just get off the throttle and not a big deal. Concern is legitimately how much this line is drying out. It's drying a little bit, so it's kind of keeping it greasy, but it's going to burn up a pair of wets, I think. I think there's just too much water, though, to have dries. Oof, clip that right front. Not on the curb, there's a little tiny puddle right inside the curbing. Just gotta start being careful of instant points. It's enough of those little tiny off tracks like that. It's starting to add up.
You have about 5 laps of fuel left.
5 laps of fuel, so there's the answer. in the end I'm going to be fuel constricted. That didn't quite top off the tank, because I really was not expecting tires to be okay this long. That does mean we can put a little bit less fuel in. Basically, we'll make this a one-stop race. Ooh. Yeah, I overshot my braking point. My bad on the dive bomb. I didn't miss my braking point.
Okay, it happened.
Left side. Clear.
Have another inadvertent dive bomb, sorry. Trying to dive it in deep on the inside, but like I faded out more than I wanted to. Ooh, almost lost her. Yeah, these tires are kind of done.
Car behind has gone off.
So where I was trying to brake was there. Yeah, track's starting to get slick again. See, I was trying to hook it in on the inside of that corner, so I knew I would have the speed, but instead end up basically doing a Verstappen and just shoving him off the track instead. Like, make him back out by just doing a massive dive bomb. And 35 minutes left, so like, it's what? Like 25 laps? Like 27 laps probably, or 30-ish. It's like 20 gallons of fuel would be more than enough. So we can
You have about
put wet
2 laps
tires
of fuel
on.
left.
$20 gallons.
Pit box in 10,
Should be fine.
5, 3, 2, 1. Right here.
Estimated laps, 'cause, I mean, we want like 30 basically. There we go.
Move it.
There we go. That's actually a pretty generous amount of fuel there. Alright, so we do have wet tires again. But they're nice and cold, obviously. I still gotta be pretty careful this first lap. And this should bring us to the end of the race without too much difficulty, though. Unless the track dries up so much we end up needing dry tires, so slicks again. But I mean, with 32 minutes remaining, I highly doubt that. Like, there's just enough intermittent rain. I mean, we might be toasting the tires pretty good. But I don't think we would need outright dries, because I think that'd be a lot slower at the moment. This is very much a greasy track still. Let's see if we can set some fast laps, though. With all this grip, we should be able to pretty comfortably secure fast lap. I mean, technically I already have fast lap, but I'm pretty sure I can do faster. I say as I almost off track. Oh, you know what I didn't do on that pit stop? I did not get a drink IRL. I'm very thirsty, because I'm kind of hot in a VR headset right now. We're an hour into this race. Oh well, I'll live. Yep, tires are up to temp. So I'm braking really early now by using the old spots. So technically this is second place in front of us.
let you by.
Left side. Clear on the left.
Sorry for holding you up.
All good. I just didn't want to almost crash you like last time. Yeah, so you let me by. On one hand, it was kind of fun trying to get past him. Because obviously I haven't had a whole lot of that this race so far. Obviously being in the wet, you know, he was taking the optimal lines, as he should, being the car in front. He's totally entitled to do that. It means that even though I'm a little bit faster, I was having a hard time getting by him because I couldn't, you know, run all the way in, all the way out. Having to stay a little bit more on the wet. I can't run all the way out there. Oh, it's wet out there still. Get that extra downshift into second, force some rotation. This thing is like, I don't want to burn up the tires here. And while I do want to go fast and be on the edge, I do want to avoid kind of sliding too much. The flip side, if the first stint was any indicator, I don't have to worry about tire wear a whole lot, considering I went, you know, like basically 40 laps on the first set of tires. Gotta be careful of that. I'm up to 11 and then 11x. The track drying unless we get another spurt of rain. Kind of expect tire wear to be a little bit harsher. Well, I have enough of a lead that I can come down pit lane if I need to. I don't really want to if I can. If I don't... Yeah, I want to avoid another pit stop if I can. It's just that pit road travel time. Because I wouldn't need a fuel top off for looking great on fuel. Oh, so close to fastest lap. Alright, well this isn't going to be fastest lap just due to that corner. So we'll kind of be careful the rest of this lap then. So I do want to see if I can improve that time. Like there's more time there for a fast lap, but... For example, if I'd done that corner just like that last lap, probably would have been a new fast lap. Yeah, that's what I gotta be careful of. Pushed it too much on the front straight and... excuse me. Oh, I broke too much there. Yep. Oh, that was a sloppy corner. This is where now the endurance part's starting to kick in, because I'm starting to get worn out. Just pay less attention. Just forget what corner I'm on and so on. I'm starting to miss braking zones just by tiny bits. They just not be quite as ideal as it should be. We're still doing 125.9. Which means that if I can stop messing up, these are like pretty close to fast laps. Or fastest laps, I should say. Purples. I was on throttle too soon there. Starting to rain again. That might be a fastest lap. It's pretty close if it's not. I think if I'd taken that last corner a little bit better. Yeah, it's starting to rain again. Getting just that tiny bit more slippery.
This place is really, really spooky now that the sun's setting and our headlights are shining off all the nothingness.
You've got the fastest.
There we go. I knew it was there, I just had to not screw up for a lap. Yeah, shaved half second off fastest lap. Let's go. Still want to stay off the curbs. Come on, keep your foot in it, keep your foot in it. This thing I'm trying to be a little bit conscious of. Again, I'm starting to burn up the tires doing fast lap attempts. Darn it! That was a fast lap. Until that final corner. Woo! Standing water on the outside. I know between tires starting to let go and it's starting to rain, I think I'm going to abandon any further fast lap attempt. There are 17 minutes left. I just want to conserve tires and, you know, get safely the end of this race.
You got a slow car on the left.
Let's up the traction control just a notch. I'm starting to slide on exit.
Go left.
Let me by. You didn't have to, but thank you. I do appreciate it. Yeah, having the traction control just a little bit higher has helped. Track's cooling down now that the sun is set, and with this starting to rain a little bit harder, grip is dropping, and just tire wear. So. Oh, I overshot the corner. Where's the corner? Can save it with the spray. Between the spray and the night, I can't see the corner.
Car right. Still there. Clear.
Yeah, that's the corner. Got to be careful of still. In the rest of these, it's pretty much the dry line. But it's such a fast and sharp right-hander that... Oof, I was really early on the brakes there. What am I doing? Whoa! Painted line? Yeah, that would have been for that painted pit line. Lap 52, so we are officially over 50 laps now. With just over, or just under 12 minutes remaining. Let's see where we are, just in general. So we are 5 laps ahead of second place. And 9 ahead of third. Then Nolan disconnected from the server a bit ago. So that's why he was 30 laps down, because he's not racing at the moment. Definitely boosting that traction control. Probably about 10 minutes ago now was a good idea. It's because the rears are still sliding on exit if I'm too harsh, but it's also not like struggling necessarily.
Range should clear up soon.
Range should clear up soon. All right. Well, that does also actually confirm that it's raining in the first place. Now that it's dark, I honestly can't tell if it's raining or not. Like, the windshield wipers are my main indicator. It also means it's not my imagination that's getting a little bit more slippery. I thought that was just my tires, but apparently not.
We're in a great spot for some hardware.
Yep. Now I was looking at my menus again. Me and menus do not get along, because I don't have a hotkey to hop to, like, tires or fuel, so... Like, I was pretty sure we were okay on fuel, but... With, 10 minutes remaining, I wanted to triple check. Since I do not have the benefit of a pit wall, unlike the real drivers... Get the turn in. There we go. On with the gas. It's like the perfect Halloween map. In the dusk/dark here, you only have all these asset points, like with no actual like assets, so it's kind of all white and spooky. I have a good October track, I guess. The headlights are interesting with how they work as a result, though. Oh my gosh, I thought it was... Yep, okay. Thought I was next corner up. That's why I was braking, because I didn't want to overshoot it again. The gas almost too soon. That was pretty much perfect, though. Come on, get the turn. There we go. Run out a little bit wide, fully off the gas. Let it rotate, and back on the gas. So we got 15 laps of fuel left, and about 5 laps in the race, so we're good. So fuel is fine, tires will be fine for 10 minutes. Yeah, because the track dried up for a while there, they're wearing faster than the first stint for sure. But that's okay, because we don't have as long as the first stint. This is interesting now that we're in nights. Now, yeah, I really can't see the corners. Like, just kind of know what your markers are on the track itself, whether, you know, it's these tire marks or edge of the curbing. And even those, because you can't see them very well depending on where they are, just kind of memorize, I'll say, the distance between the corners. Or you kind of know about how long you should be on the throttle. And if you've been on the throttle longer than that, oh, well, you've now overshot your braking point, because it means you drove past it and didn't know it. Kind of what happened with that one inadvertent dive bomb into turn 1. It was like, I was looking for the braking point on the left side, didn't see it, and it's like, alright, I've been on the throttle too long. I can't see the corner or the braking point, but I can tell it's not right. Let it rotate, there we go. That was slow. I mean, that's kind of the main culprit for a corner I can't see at the moment.
Let us know if you want dry tyres.
Finish curve soon, let us know if you want dry tires. If this race was much longer, I might consider it. About 5 minutes left, nah. Probably should check the... I mean, this dry line is pretty dry, though, I gotta say. I'm starting to get on the gas a little bit sooner. I spoke too soon there, of course. Classic. It's like, the main line is dry, everywhere else is wet. Oh, and I guess it just went full night, because the sky just went from dusk to pitch black. That's great.
The lights just turned off. Wow.
Yep, they noticed it too. Alright, well, now I really can't see. Goodness. This is one of my few complaints about iRacing. Like, just the way they do dark. Like this, where, you know, if it's outside headlight range, maybe it's just some setting. Like, it's not even that you can see silhouettes, you just can't see it at all. It means that, like, I have no idea where the apex of this turn is. Like, where there's no reflective posts, I really can't see it. So now I really am, you know, by memory. I'm glad this is only for the last, like, 5 minutes. Because I'm struggling here. There's a little wet spot there, and I caught it. So now I can kind of see the reflective cones ahead, but I don't know where those are relative to my braking markers. This is the issue. You do get those little reflective stakes on some of these, but truthfully, I can't see those well enough for them to help. Kind of staring at the edges right now, trying to figure out where I am relative to each corner. That's why I went really quiet, because I was trying to see the road. Edge of curbing. Because can I see where I'm going? No, not really. It's kind of track memory at this point. How much slower a lap am I right now? I'm curious about that. About 2 seconds slower lap? I mean, all things considered, that's actually not that bad. Oh yeah, I'm really wide on that. That's like the only corner where the stakes are actually useful. A little bit past the curbing. Oh, that was a lot of it past the curbing. And I can see the stakes on the inside, and guess we're taking that corner really wide here. Let's try about there. Judging from the reflective cones on the outside of the track there. Oh, I just overshot this corner. Yep. There's no one coming, so we can just rejoin there.
White flag, nice and smooth.
White flag, woo! There's the corner. There needs to be a reflective post on the inside of that because I can't see it. This is what I get for trying to go full speed when it's pitch black out. Guess I'll just take my hints and go with a slow and steady approach instead. Okay. I mean, I wonder if it's a graphics setting, but I haven't messed with it. You know, something with like shadows and... As you see, I mean, yeah, it makes it pretty much impossible to see. That's checkered, let's go!
You won. Why did the others bother to show up?
Why did the others bother to show up? It's a little bit of a quiet and lonely race, but it was a good race still.
I yeeted myself out of the track. Woo.
Wow, so I managed to make it a one-stop race. I mean, still had about 10 laps of fuel left, or 8, because, yeah, we weren't doing more than 8, but... Well, that was a good race. I mean, this night here made it pretty tricky. And once we got on wet tires, I mean, things went pretty smoothly. Managed to make that first set of tires last... I think I pit lap 39 or some ridiculous number like that. How many laps were there total? 62? Yes, I mean, we made those first tires last about 50 minutes into a 90-minute race. Yeah, definitely getting on pitting lap 1. Those extra 10 gallons of fuel really helped.
Okay, the race is over. Bring it on in.
Because that's what let me do.
Box in 10.
Sorry, it's been a long race. The extra 10 gallons there on that lap 1 pit stop for wets.
2, 1. Right here.
Is really what enabled all of that. That's what let me go 40 laps instead of 20. Because I tossed in an extra 10 gallons of fuel. Or 10-ish. And let's see. Yeah, that's pretty solid right there. Well, good race to everyone. Let me save this replay. I got a wireless keyboard here, so I can still type at least. Lemons, what was this? NJMP. Sure, I'll know what that is. All right, so with that, I hope everyone enjoyed. It's a fun race here at New Jersey Motorsports Park in the Legacy McLaren MP4-12C GT3. More recent Legacy change, or Legacy car, which is why it still has rain despite being Legacy. But always fun. I love doing races in the rain, in the wet. I'm greasy, always makes it really interesting. But always a fun time racing with the 24 Hours of Lemons iRacing crew. This concludes round 10. I think, if I remember correctly, there's only 11 rounds for this series, so I believe next race ends it. Finishing P1 today with both fastest lap and most laps led will really help championship results. So right now we're third, but we had a couple people quickly approaching down in fourth and fifth. So this should help secure third place, because I don't see either of their names here. So we'll extend the lead there, should secure third place in the championship. I guess we'll see in the Discord server afterwards, to be sure. Well, that's my recollection of how the standings were. So with that, I hope everyone enjoyed. Let me know what else you want to see. If there's some car track combination, if you just want to see me do some official series, whatever the case is. I do enjoy hopping on here and doing races from, not quite from time to time, but just as I have time, I should say. Otherwise, thank you all for stopping by. Hope you enjoyed, and have an amazing evening.